Gingersnap Parties podcast.
We're Gingersnap. You're not at the beginning of a podcast.
Oh, right.
But we do however, find it hilarious.
Oh dear.
Right. That's a blooper. We've got about 28 seconds of blooper there. Okay. Anyway, so welcome to the Gingersnap Parties podcast. This is episode 1, the weird and wonderful world of Gingersnaps.
Yay!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Gingersnap podcast. My name's Danielle and I'm going to be hosting it. And with us here we have Becky, the fabulous boss of Gingersnaps.
Hello.
And we have Kyle, our resident Michael Myers.
Hello. Probably I don't speak. So.
Yeah, new one for his character.
Thank you everyone who's listening in and listening in to us. Welcome all. Welcome any subscribers. Welcome to anyone who follows us on Facebook and any other socials. Let's go into it. So, Becky, the boss.
Yes.
The fairy god boss.
Makes me sound like something out of the mafia. That sounds terrible, yes.
So, Becky, tell me, what started the idea of Gingersnaps?
I don't know, really. Everyone's always told me I was really good at doing parties for kids because all the little details that we used to do. So I started thinking about it. What could I do? It started off originally as Party in a Box. I was going to supply themed parties and all the crafty stuff I made and post them out for mums or families that just didn't have the time to sort stuff out. And then I thought, right, okay, we'll do it. And then one day I was good old Pinterest and I was scrolling on that and there was a picture of this little girl, ginger hair, bright as can be, in a buggy. And could have been. And she was holding this placard up saying, watch out, I'll ginger snap. Well, my little girl, ginger hair, and she's got a temper and a half. And I mean, oh gosh, she was what, 2 years old at the time, so she was really going for it. And I went, that's it. That's the name of the company. And then that's how we started. And we went from there to, then a friend asked me to host an event as opposed to a party in a box. And then after the event, she said, you really need to do this.
What was your first event?
It was a Mario and a SpongeBob SquarePants joint party for a brother and a sister.
Wow, that's interesting.
And it was how do I mix it up? How do I split it? They were 2 different ages. But it was great fun. And she brought the entertainment in. We did the decor and all the sort of favours at the time. And she brought the entertainment in, and it was afterwards. And when another friend who was at this party and I were mucking around and we were doing all the Superman, the black lace type dances, and Agadoo, you name it. Agadoo.
Push pineapple, shake the tree.
And she just said, you can do what they do and you'd smash it. Come on, you've got to do this. And then that's where we started doing the actual birthday parties, and then went, right, we need to do our own events.
Amazing.
And then that's it. You lot got involved, and God help me ever since.
I have a question then. When did all the Disney Princess stuff start? Because you've been doing that now for quite a long time, as far as I remember.
God,
at least.
It again. At this very first birthday party, the entertainment had bought 2 mascots, obviously a SpongeBob and a Mario mascot. And another friend that was there, typical mum group from school, another friend that was there, she's like, she had a foster child at the time, and she said, it's so-and-so's birthday. She said, she loves Frozen, she loves Anna and Elsa. Could you do anything? She said, I think you'd do a better job than any other company would, because again, it's the detail. The whole thing with Gingersnap is the detail, and that's how it started. And I looked into the costumes, and we rolled out Anna and Elsa for this little girl's birthday party, and they blew everybody away.
I've got to ask the question: do you have photos still of this first Anna and Elsa?
I do. Yes,
I think we need to pin that. We definitely need to pin that.
Yeah, and that again, it started from there. Started saying, right, okay, I'll do characters, and I'll just do them for our own events. Mm-hmm. And then everyone said, can we book your characters? Can we have visits? And that's how it expanded into that. But obviously then COVID hit. I mean, we still did a mixture of events, craft fairs, ladies' nights, kids' parties, character visits, you name it. COVID, we really just survived through, which, I'm grateful we survived. But I miss doing events. And, well, as you guys know, it was only last year that the industry sort of went, right, okay, let's start getting used to being in the swing of events. And it's been great last year being back doing the events, not just the character visits.
The question I've got to ask, what is your favourite type of event to have done with Gingersnaps? Now, just to make it clear to the listeners, Gingersnaps does mostly children's events, but there is adults events out there as well that we do, along with scare mazes and ladies' nights. So I've got to know, what's your all-time favourite type of event?
I haven't. I honest to God can't say I've got an all-time favourite. We have hosted and we work some very big Christmas events, and they are magical in a completely different way than Halloween. The Halloween are fantastic. When I know you guys are part of my team in the scare maze, when you guys are scaring the bejesus out of people and you're seeing them running, laughing, that's a whole new level. And then the ladies' nights are a joy to work with because the drag acts are hilarious. The lads are great lads. They're so gentlemanly with the ladies. We make sure those type of nights are done very differently, and not
bits of class.
Yeah, bits of class, not tacky and horrible. And then the craft fairs. I've met so many wonderful crafters. And I've got so many beautifully made things throughout my house and in the stock shed. I think I spent all the profits we made on those.
Now, on the subject of stock shed, I've got to cut across there.
Oh no,
your
we don't mention that. That's the swear word.
Stock shed is the most horrendous thing I've ever seen.
And you still never managed to organise it properly.
The size of the spiders in that stock shed terrify me.
I know. I can remember the screams.
That's where Kyle Myers comes in. And stabbing it.
Kyle, we need Halloween out. Can you go in there and get it, please?
I always remember that summer where there was myself and the other girl went in on the steps, and the steps were rocky. No, you can hear me. And
I've still not found anything since.
No.
I give up with the stock shed. I try so hard to organise it.
Despite the events that everyone does for Gingersnaps, there are some pretty hilarious stories. So if we can keep this into a series or anything, I'm sure we can, say some more some illicit, interesting stories.
So obviously we'll hear from you.
Pasta salad was harmed in this episode.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
That's the ladies' night joke.
We'll explain that on a different episode where families aren't present.
We do have some very nice, I will say it as I'm sat here, we do have some very nice love stories as well.
Yay.
That involve these two that met through Gingersnaps. And guess what? They're getting married later this year, so we can't be that bad. We've kept them together this long.
So that story... We met much.
I think we should leave that more towards the end, and let's just talk about the events and whatnot. We'll leave that little juicy detail.
Yeah.
Juicy detail.
So, Kyle, tell me about what you do.
In what terms? Do you mean for Gingersnaps?
For Gingersnaps.
Well, I turn up, give my ideas, and then I go home pretty much.
You do whatever I tell you to do.
Well, it's a man's job. Someone's got to do it.
Kyle is without doubt, and when he plays our horror characters, and he does a few different ones, but I'll always remember the first time Kyle did Michael Myers, and the guys hear me say this loads, but we were in the changing rooms getting ready for our very first scare maze at a local venue, and he just peered. I was sat on a bench and there was sort of like a wall next to me, and he just peered in a boiler suit round the corner, and it's just his whole persona changes, and it was terrifying. So menacing, and I knew it was Kyle. And I don't scare easy. I love horror films, horror books, all sorts. Don't scare easy at all, but oh my goodness, that jumped out of my skin that time. I really did.
I must admit, I was... Pretty much, I remember at that point, this was before I knew any of the guys, this was literally me finding a bit of confidence and doing something completely new. So I decided to help. I decided to help with the event. Basically, they've never done a scare room before. I mean, I'm a massive horror movie fan as well. I love all the classic 80s stuff, especially. I decided to purchase, because at the time there was a new Halloween movie coming out, and I decided, oh, you know what, let's spend a bit of moolah and get a decent mask. So I did. I got the decent mask. I thought, looks a bit pants, even though I spent a lot of money on it. So I decided to find someone who could spruce it up a bit, and I was dead. The guys could see it in my face. I was dead excited waiting for it to come. When it did, it led to that point in the changing rooms where Becky was talking to the rest of the guys, making sure we were on time. We had we had the rooms set up and everything. Everyone got into their costumes, and I thought, let's get a test drive. I walked in at first with just the boiler suit on, and I got the mask. I went round the corner because I knew Becky was there, so I stuck it on. And I just stood there breathing as loud as I could. And eventually it was almost like she was dead like, what's going on?
Yeah,
I think we're definitely going to pin the picture there, because we've got the picture, because you shot the picture at the exact time, didn't you?
Yes, don't ask me how, but we've got that.
She turned round and she jumped out of her skin. Really did.
And what else have you done for Gingersnaps, Kyle?
Well, I help out where I can, like I said earlier.
You've been the
ideas.
mean one.
I've been... Do you mean
the mean one?
Oh, Mr. Grinch.
Yes.
Me personally, I more circle towards the horror side. I'll pretty much do anything, within reason. If I'm comfortable with something, I'll go and do it.
Mind you, we did do Panto rehearsals last year, didn't we? And you were absolutely brilliant. It didn't pull off through circumstances, but you brought this character that you were playing absolutely to life, but you just you wouldn't have felt comfortable if going from that point when we were rehearsing to doing it publicly on the stage, but you were brilliant.
I think it's hard because when you struggle with confidence, it's hard to... I think it's easy to build it back, but getting it to the point where you're willing to do it in front of a crowd, especially nowadays, with so many things can be interpreted as being offensive, even though they're not meant to be like that. No, I'm just saying, you've got to be careful what's said, basically.
Yeah, very careful.
I would consider doing it at some point, but I just don't think that point's now.
No. Yeah, the adult panto, so we won't say too much, it's a family friendly podcast, but on a few fizzy drinks, I wrote a script.
Fizzy.
Yes.
A few fizzy drinks.
One way to describe it. Let's just say, so what is it? The Jim Davidson's...
It's in lights of Jim Davidson's Cinderella.
It's very similar. So if you want to laugh, an adult laugh, please go and watch YouTube clips of that, because they are just
they're just
hilarious.
Classic. Comedy is hilarious.
We do
it
like
took
old
me
comedy.
5 days straight drinking fizzy pop and very, very, very late nights to come up with the script.
She's not an alkie, honestly.
No.
That sounds terrible.
It's just the only way you can write the script.
I'm going to interrupt now before Danny gets started.
As always.
I like to interrupt. That's what I call boss mode. You can't moan at me about that. You've asked Kyle and I about Gingersnaps. Mm-hmm. Your turn. So, what do we want to know? How did you come back? I know, obviously, but go on.
Mortifying. I always remember. Yeah, I'd say I remember you asking me to sing in your dining room.
Oh my goodness, that was years ago.
And I think I sang Miley Cyrus, I Miss You. And
isn't there still a crack in your window?
Yeah, no wonder where the draft was coming from.
I think it was through your stepdaughter.
Yes,
she used to come round and sort of hang out at mine, and I grew up wanting to be a redcoat and didn't go through with being a redcoat. So when the opportunity came up, when I heard about Gingersnaps, I thought, okay, this might be My opportunity.
And I've regretted it ever since. We love... Danny's been with me probably for about, 7 years now?
8.
Is it 8? Oh,
8.
my God, but you push the boundaries every time. And I mean that in a good way, but Dan will come up to me and go, right, Beck, I've got this idea. And I'm like, oh, God, what? And I know invariably, and Danielle knows invariably, that I'll go, yeah, all right, let's go for it. But, the stress it causes. I have palpitations.
The word that comes out of your mouth is budget. Budget.
Yeah, plan it, but run the budget by me.
30,000 fireworks.
No.
Singing chefs. No.
Well, my personal favourite, Ursula costume.
Please let me be Ursula.
I've told you this year.
All of the listeners out there, please drop a comment. Because
No.
if you do, I will come on. And when we go into doing videos of the podcast, I will come on as Ursula.
And
Poor
she,
unfortunate souls.
Don't start us singing
in pain.
Please, no.
That's it. We've lost all of our listeners now.
And close the show.
Poor unfortunate listeners.
Yeah, I mean, 8 years. Creating things, events, getting to be the fairy godmother, which I also want to be the Shrek versions of fairy godmother.
Yes, I've told you that. She knows. She does this. She drops it in, and I go, yes, I know.
And I find the best thing about Gingersnaps as well is how much Gingersnaps also promotes the fact of plus size characters. So. Many of you guys probably don't know me because you can't see me via video, but I would be considered plus size. And Becky has always given every person an opportunity, regardless of size, age, gender. You give every opportunity, and I think that's one of the most important things right now.
We're all human,
yeah,
and that's it. And it's all about making the magic for everybody, young and old. I mean, I know we said we'd talk about memories, but for me, it's a prime example. It's not just about seeing the kids. Faces light up. We went to a care home, it's always a very
that day.
Yeah, very emotional time for everybody. And there was one of their residents who hadn't been out of their bedrooms for I think they said ages. It was a good sort of couple of years.
Wow! And
they heard that we were. Bringing our version of a classic Cinderella, and this patient was like, please, can I come and meet her? And everyone couldn't believe it. So they got the hoist. They managed to put her in a special chair, and they brought her out. And our character, we've got one of the most beautiful photos I think that Gingersnap have, and it's just our character scooched down with a ball gown billowing out around her, holding this lovely old lady's hand. And we were told she was sat there for ages, just stroking her hand, talking quietly to her. And they literally, the staff at the nursing home told us, I think she passed away within about 3 to 4 months of us visiting, but every single day she spoke about it and lit up about it. I mean, that's magic.
I know, obviously, you weren't there on that day, but I got to see them actually do it.
See him do it, yes.
And I remember the exact lady that you're speaking about when our version of Cinderella bent down to her face lit up and her mouth dropped. And it was almost as if this older woman was suddenly 10 years old again.
Yeah.
And it was so magical.
Into a different...
Yeah, it was so magical.
realm.
Yeah, to know, a lady that had booked us stayed in touch with me, and she, like I said, she was there when the patient or the resident sadly passed, and she just said, but what you bought to her for her last days, don't, because I'll start menopausal here, I'll start crying.
Tears!
Yes, it doesn't work, but, that's what it's all about. It's not just about the children.
Yeah.
It is about all ages and fun. Oh, life's so dreary. And people have so many problems, and not everybody can afford to go to the likes of Disney, Paris or America and have that magic of another world. Because literally you walk through those gates and it is another world.
It is.
And you become a kid again and the magic wraps itself around you and you forget time, place. I don't know how they've created it, but they've done it incredibly. We just take inspiration from that to try and bring that magic.
You follow a lot of the rules, like the Disney's rules as well, don't you? With don't let go of hugs and so on.
There is, yeah. There's some rules. I mean, obviously you have to be very, very careful where Disney's concerned. because there's all copyrights and everything involved. This is why we take inspiration, but we obviously don't copy them. But there was something on YouTube about supposedly an ex-employee and the do's and don'ts of Disney. And one of the do's and don'ts was you never let go of a child whilst they're hugging you. And as a mum myself, I just thought that was absolutely beautiful.
It is wonderful. And do you know how many times as character that becomes very challenging?
Yeah.
So you can literally have a child, but because you can't let go,
yes,
you just got to keep holding them and holding them.
That's it.
You're like, are you okay? Are you okay?
but you don't know what comfort that brings. We have, again, another memory. Belle, Belle-inspired character went out, and it was a little lad, and I think he was about 5 or 6, and our characters always go out chaperoned, and he came up to me and he said, "Could I get a book for your princess to read to me?" So I'm like, "Yes, of course you can." And there was like a little shelf of a book, so we chose a book, and he went over to her, and he just snuggled in to her. Literally, you'd thought this little lad had never had a cuddle in his life. And I captured the photo of it. And I mean, obviously, with the parents' permission, and the parents got a copy of the photo, because we have to bear all the legalities like that in mind all the time. But it was something so special to him. And when you see something like that, that's when you go, with something like the rules of Disney, you can understand. Because what that meant to that little boy that day, you don't know what he was going through. No signs, because we have to look out for safeguarding. There was no signs of anything, nothing mentioned, but he clearly needed that magic, and he was fine. He was running around with his friends half an hour later, but at that moment...
That was the moment that was needed.
Yeah.
It might be possible as well that he might remember that for the rest of his life.
This
That's
is
specific
it.
memory.
I always remember during the end of period of COVID, where there was restrictions in place, but restrictions were dropping off, and we was trying to find our feet again with Gingersnaps.
Sanitizer was £10
£10 a bottle and a face mask. Then again, we're getting there again now.
Mask going.
Yes, and we did a visit. We did gate visits, and we went to my niece's house as our version of Ariel. Visited my niece at the door, social distance, kept apart. And she just stood there. It was for a birthday, and I remember watching her mouth drop, and she went, "Oh, he really is!" And it was the most beautiful thing, and I've still got a photo of that now.
Yeah.
You can literally see her mouth hit the floor.
To have that, to know that might carry through lives and people's lives, that's what keeps me going. On the days I want to go, I've had enough, something's not working, can't plan it, can't wing it, can't find a venue, whatever the problem is. It's all these little things I have to think of that go,
how many times have we had to wing when something's gone wrong and it's not going to be all right on the night, and we make it happen?
I don't.
It still works at the end. That's all that matters.
Becky, the boss, likes to throw tantrums.
I do throw them that often. I did. That first one was that Halloween we were talking about with Kyle.
Yes.
Because I'd bought, we decided to make a corridor into a tiny little scare maze for children, and it had changing rooms off of it, so I'd bought curtain poles to put across the doors to hang spooky stuff from, and I'd measured them, but I didn't check them when they arrived, and they'd sent me the wrong size, so we had nothing to disguise the door with, so I had a complete strop about how we were going to do this maze. Oh dear.
I was in the middle of doing the adults maze in the dark room, and you needed this kids maze doing, and poor Lucy just had to find toilet roll and was just, she got so creative.
We actually just finished the adult one.
Yeah.
And then we all came in together.
I wanted to cry.
Bog roll in hand.
And she was just like hanging all this toilet roll, and it made such a great effect.
Works,
it made really tall people dork, and it really, once the lights had gone down and the colours were going,
that's it.
It was brilliant, and the doors that were jarred with
we had
the creepy
300 people.
300.
Yeah, I think it was just over. I think it was something like 372, something really random.
And what about 23s? How many did we have through for 23s? Was it 9? Nearing on 900?
Oh, ridiculous. Yes.
900 people.
Yeah, 900 people.
Yeah, no, that was the year before.
Yeah, 900 people through our scare maze.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
I lost my voice.
You were recognised in another location. It's the lady with the dog food.
I ended up having this situation where I was like putting people up against a wall and pretending to make them eat dog food. And I was saying, do you want to try my meat? So where I'm currently working now. Where I'm currently
in a
working.
spooky voice, man. Not a normal voice.
Go on, do the voice. Do you
want to try my meat?
So much you couldn't
I would certainly like to try your meat.
So I work in a hospital, and it's very public space, and I'm walking through the entrance just minding my own business, and from the distance all I heard was, do you want to try my meat? And I dived and hid so fast, and it happened to me in Asda as well.
Oh, no.
I was walking through Asda in the veg section.
The meat section, the
Do you
veg
want
section.
to try my meat?
Your reputation precedes you.
That's why I'm glad my character's silent.
3, 2, 1. Part 3. Whee! So, just for the listeners listening in, you can play down in the comments below. We're going to have a game of Who Am I? And it has got to be a Disney-esque character or a child-friendly film character of any choice.
She's only saying that so we don't catch her out.
No, because I only have one lot of knowledge. And yeah, so Kyle's going to pick a character first. He's going to describe the character to me in like single words, and then I've got to try and guess from what you're telling me from each word. The guys listening in, if you want to pop your comments below and play along, and then we will make it clear what the character is. So off you go, Kyle.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me questions about
What colour is my character, human or non-human?
Definitely human.
Definitely human, okay? Is my character Disney?
No.
Is my character DreamWorks?
No.
Is my character in a film?
Definitely in a film.
Oh, if you could see the facial expressions, guys. The worry, the concentration.
Give me a clue about how my character behaves.
It's just like an average boy, really. He's quite different from everybody else.
Oh, I know what one guess would be. Come on.
I'm shocked.
I would say he's probably scarred since being a child.
Oh no! You're sacked!
You're sacked! Is it something to do with Scarface?
A family-friendly based game of guessing a character, and you come to Scarface.
Oh, hang on, it's not human. Is it a lion?
You really can see where
I said
this is
earlier it was
going.
human.
Okay.
So he's human, he's very different, and he's had a scarred life.
Scarred childhood.
Oh, scarred childhood.
I know Becky knows.
Yes. I'm absolutely appalled you can't guess this. And I get literally every subscriber, the few that we've got, is going to be going, it's so-and-so. So, Dan, you're failing miserably. Do I sack her or do I keep her on, chaps?
Let them know.
The first 100 people to like or comment, we will sack her.
What, live on video?
Live on video, yeah.
Give me another clue.
Another clue.
Wow. I can't even help you out with clues.
He's a very kind boy.
I know he's a boy, he's scarred.
That he has riddles to sort out.
Riddles.
The Joker?
One.
Oh my god.
How do you get the Joker?
Batman.
No. It's not a boy.
Batman's literally a man. It says Batman, not Batboy.
He has a very, very wise supporter and mentor.
Batman.
Oh my god. You can't give up.
I don't trust Kyle.
It has.
Trust me though.
No.
We know where this is going.
He likes to receive letters, not just a letter, hundreds of them.
Lady Whistledown.
No. How is that child-friendly?
Bridgerton.
Oh, but I've not watched Bridgerton. Sorry, everybody, I have not watched Bridgerton.
Oh dear. I'm not watching Bridgerton.
I don't know how Bridgerton's come up into the conversation. It's a child-friendly movie.
I don't know.
He has some
Santa.
very,
It has a
very...
really big trunk to carry all this stuff.
Santa. Such a big trunk.
Yes,
Santa
it's
doesn't have a
really-
trunk, he has a sleigh.
Even my daughter's in the other room.
And she knows,
shouting out, and
guarantee it.
she knows, and she's
I give
12.
up.
Harry Potter.
Harry
Come on.
Potter. Oh my gosh, Harry Potter.
Oh my god.
Why didn't you just say he went to Hogwarts? Because that's
It's too
obvious.
easy. The whole point's to guess.
Time out.
As you can see, that's really messed with Danielle's head.
I don't get how you get Scarface from Harry Potter. That's the
It's
first one.
Batman.
My
That
turn,
worries me.
Tocky.
Oh look, here we go. This is the revenge of Danielle now.
I'm using the good source of the internet.
I don't.
Right, well,
I thought good imaginary minds don't need the internet.
I do,
This
but I
is
can't.
it.
I can't picture this character.
What, Harry Potter?
who are you on?
And we're back.
And this is no pressure now, because Danielle is going to get her revenge, I suppose,
Yes.
be on me.
It's on. So
I'm going to fail miserably.
Rebecca.
Oh, the Sunday name. Rebecca, she's definitely sacked. Go on then.
Take the stage and try and guess who you are.
I'm going to fail. Okay.
It's terrifying on that side, isn't it?
So, I'm too old to care now. Okay, am I human?
That's a very interesting one.
Well, no, I'm not
Kind.
human, but...
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Okay. Am I from this planet?
Here we go.
Am I from the planet Earth?
Yes.
Would you stop laughing at this?
It depends on the context of the character because
So,
I will explain
okay,
it later.
Am I a Disney character?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a Disney character.
Disney
I'm from
Pixar, to be exact.
Disney Pixar character. I'm from Earth. Oh, okay. Am I a toy?
Yes.
Oh,
we're on the road.
Okay.
Told you breached it.
And you're going to have 3 shots at guessing the character.
Oh, out of
That's
Toy
what I
Story,
had.
that's not fair. Okay,
As long as she doesn't say
do I say to infinity and beyond?
Yes, you do.
And Buzz Lightyear!
Oh, you weren't going to go Commander Chip Hazard.
1. And after Becky's quick guessing in less than a minute for Buzz Lightyear,
Boss hasn't failed.
now it's your turn to challenge Kyle.
Right, and we did start looking at Google for this, but I'm going to use my imagination. So, Kyle, go for it. It's like mastermind.
Am I human?
Yes, you are.
Am I an object that's alive?
No, you're not.
So I'm human.
So you're not a toy, basically.
It's a shame. I'm not quite sure to ask. Boy or girl?
Girl.
Girl. Is she a princess?
No.
Is she green?
No.
That'd have been too easy. Does she like the water?
Does she like water? Debatable.
I know.
Not Moana, is it?
No.
Damn.
Guess one. 2 more guesses.
My Disney knowledge is very small. She doesn't like water. Does she live in Paris?
No, but it's in your life. The character is in your life every day.
My life every day.
Yes. This is going to really, really confuse him.
To be fair, you've lost me at this point.
I'm a bit tricky. Yeah, it's a bit
Alice
tricky.
in Wonderland.
Yes!
Yay!
That's Danielle's kitchen is Alice in Wonderland thing.
So, for the listeners that don't realise, but I have a Mad Hatter's kitchen.
Yeah, which is where It's in Your Life Every Day comes from.
I was going to say Minnie Mouse, but I'm like, no, I don't.
What?
No, we're not.
So, there we go. It's moving, the time is moving. So, after that round of... I'm terrible at guessing who I am. Who would have thought Harry Potter?
Rename that one.
So obviously it's quite obvious to the podcast that we enjoy films, we enjoy books, we enjoy all those sort of things, and particularly Disney. Yes. So I think we have to ask the ultimate fact that we probably want to know is, Becky, what is your favourite Disney film? Or any film?
Oh.
Disney, DreamWorks? Should we say Disney or DreamWorks?
It's really hard. I
think it should be favourite film of any genre, and then specifically Disney.
Okay, so your Disney. Tell me your Disney.
My Disney one would it'd have to be quite an older one, and that's Sword in the Stone.
Ooh.
And because it's got an owl in there, and his name's Archimedes, and there's a scene in it, about, I don't know, halfway through. There's a scene in it where Archimedes gets the giggles and his laugh just goes on, and his laugh makes me laugh. So I'm sitting there, no matter... I've seen this film ridiculous amount of times. I'm sitting there with tears streaming down my face.
Just laughing at a TV screen.
Archimedes laughing and sliding off his perch. Mad Madam Mim is a character in it as well as Witch.
Isn't that what you call yourself as Mad Madam Mim?
Yes, that used to be my friend of many, many years named me that.
During the war.
I'm not quite that old yet. But yes, she named me Mad Madam Mim, so I was Mim and she was Trouty. And if you're listening, darling, hello. Don't kill me.
Is it the one with Merlin in it?
Yes, it is.
With a lad looking for a sword.
Yes, Wart, yeah, and Merlin. So that's my favourite. And overall, I've got too many films over the years that I've loved for numerous different reasons. But one of my go-to films, if I see it on, and I have to put it on, and it's the original Jaws. Literally hundreds and hundreds of times, and it's the scene in the boat.
I was 5 years old when I watched that for the first time. Yeah, my dad.
My girls are probably about the same age when I introduced them to it, but I had to explain that Bruce was not real. Bruce is a shark head on a bicycle. Now, once they got that concept in their head, they were fine.
I just love the fact Spielberg named it after a lawyer.
My uncle always used to sing a song called... I've never really watched... I've watched Jaws, but never watched it intently. And my uncle always used to sing a song that I thought he'd invented, which was I Had a Little Drink About an Hour Ago, and it's gone right to my head.
Oh, it's a classic, though.
Yeah.
So for years, I thought it was my uncle's own song.
No.
And then I watched it. I saw a clip of it about last year, and I was like, my uncle never made that song up.
Many moons ago, we used to sing it on the way back from the pub. That's another story.
So, Kyle, what's your favourite Disney film?
Disney. When I was a boy, it probably would have been Toy Story, the original, mind you. But since growing up and whatnot, I firmly believe now it's probably one that most people forget about, to be fair, which is Treasure Planet.
Mm-hmm. Oh goodness, I haven't seen that for a long time.
Love it.
That is very good. Yeah,
it's very much Goonie-esque, but with a bit more of an adult theme of, redemption.
Have you guys seen the YouTube video about Treasure Planet?
No.
Someone recorded the version of it on a VHS tape. There you go. Well, now we're showing our age to the listeners. VHS tape. And the sound, like the tape had gone funny, and the sound was playing funny, and the video was playing backwards, and it looked like something out of a horror film.
Oh my goodness!
Just because the tape had messed up.
Yeah. Oh wow!
I imagine a lot of manipulations happen like that.
Yeah.
VHS.
And what would you say your favourite non-Disney film is?
Again, just like Becky says, so many good films out there. Jaws is definitely one of the top ones, because I remember watching it all the time with my dad. I used to know all the quotes, like, here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
I got this scar when.
So we drink to our legs. I know quite a lot of Jaws. I love Spielberg as well, but mine would probably have to be either John Carpenter's 1982 remake of The Thing.
It has to get right down to the specifics.
Yeah, but that's
But it's an absolute amazing film.
Yes.
You don't even have to be in horror to enjoy it.
No,
it's just the
film.
paranoia of there being an alien that can absorb you at any moment.
And
then,
I've ride with all the doggies.
yeah, especially with all the dogs. But I think probably my favourite is probably going to have to be Gladiator with Russell Crowe.
Oh, that
It's
reminds me
so
of my stepdad.
amazing.
So we're coming into the final stretch of our first podcast.
Oh my goodness!
How have we felt about it so far?
It's an interesting experience.
More importantly, how are our listening? How are our listeners, if any?
I think they think we're slightly mad.
Yeah.
Either that or we are just generally talking.
If you
to
have
it.
enjoyed
Yes.
listening to the podcast and quite enjoyed listening to us chatter away, we've got lots of other things coming up. We've got other people coming in. We're hoping to have one of our other characters,
Lots of the characters hopefully joining.
Ashley and Liz, and I've been trying to talk Megan into it, and hopefully Tina.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get all the
But I
characters.
don't think
in
a
for
serious
perspective.
conversation will take place from
There
Tina.
will never be a serious conversation.
Put me and Tina in a room and we're done.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
Seriously, before we move on though, because I was talking about Gladiator, in case you ever want a fat Roman at any point, just let me know, Becky.
I'll get you the costume now, dear, just because.
I do have a photo of myself, to be fair, in one, and you'll see me in it.
Oh, that's
You'll
it.
think,
challenge.
I
Russell
know
Crowe.
the
Flash
photo.
up the
I know the
ears.
photo, so I'm going to pin it to the video.
What about you? What's your favourite? What's your favourite all time and favourite Disney? Go with your favourite all time first, or one of your favourite all times.
I have too many.
Oh, I have
She
too many.
does.
You've made us choose one.
My favourite all time.
My guess for you would probably be Cars.
No,
No.
Oh, I was going to say Cars.
it's one of my favourites, but I would say my all-time favourite film that's non-Disney is a film called Safe Haven. And it's it came around the time of The Notebook and Dear John and so on.
Oh, see, I'm not really rom-com.
And it's about a girl who was in a really bad way and basically found a man who was a safe haven. Who he wasn't actually her safe haven. The other person was a safe haven.
Oh.
And I don't think it's a well-known film, but it's my favourite film.
Oh, typical bloke's reaction. So what about Disney then?
Oh, it's even worse to ask a Disney.
Sorry, I thought the first question was a Disney one. But
So for those who are listening, I am Disney mad.
Yes, ever so slightly.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse corridor, Mickey Mouse stairs.
Yes.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse,
Stitch everywhere.
everything, Stitch, Alice in Wonderland. But no, my favourite Disney film.
Surely it's got to be Cars.
No,
or
you keep saying
Stitch.
Cars. My favourite
Cue the
Disney
domestic.
film is Lion King.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Lion King. I do love Cars, but it has to be Lion King.
We were talking about this the other day, though, weren't we? Because we've all seen Lion King live on
Yes.
stage as well. And yeah, that
Absolutely
is
fantastic. If you haven't been to see it, watch
Lion
it. It's
King
Yeah,
is
fantastic.
please.
There's a great story to the Lion King musical, isn't there, Kyle? So for the listeners listening into this,
Any chance to embarrass the parliament? Any
This
chance?
is a boo.
we
moment.
decided to pay for tickets to go and see the Lion King musical at the Birmingham Hippodrome.
Yep.
And we got in the car, we travelled an hour and a half to Birmingham through traffic on
You
a
can
Sunday.
see where this is going, can't you, chaps?
We arrived, we got
Great
parked up, paid, walked towards the Hippodrome, and there was nothing going off, so we thought we was at the back of the building. No, we walked round. Kyle decided to look at the tickets, and he went, "I am sorry, it was last night."
Ooh.
So we'd walked away, and we'd wasted over £150 on these tickets, and we walked away and had to rebook again literally 2 months
So
later.
basically wasted more money. just to keep her happy.
But it was worth it because it
On the
was
way home,
superb.
I saw the Peaky
You saw, I
Blinders
was going to
pub.
say yes.
I went to the Garrison, and
She
Becky
did.
received a video from me going, "I'm in the Garrison."
The actual pub.
Yeah.
So it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. Wasn't
And I
all
think
bad.
the new film as well, Mufasa. I don't know if you watched it yet.
Not
Becky.
watched it yet. No.
Kyle's kind of a bit off about it being real life and talking. but
Yeah,
the
it don't quite. For some reason, when the lion's talking, I don't think aesthetically is the right word.
You mean it doesn't please you aesthetically?
It's the animation of how they talk. Because they're lions, they not supposed to talk, obviously, but they talk very human.
But they talk in the cartoon.
Yeah, but they talk in the cartoon. They don't look human when they talk.
No.
So,
I thoroughly enjoyed the film.
I thought it was
at the end, good. And we won't do spoilers. We won't do spoilers on this show at all. But at the end, my mouth dropped. I was glued to my seat. I'd got tears in my eyes, and it was just overall amazing. Music didn't hit the same.
No, the songs were...
But the film hit the same.
The songs were good. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't as bad as Moana's 2 songs at all. The songs were enjoyable. It's just the story of how it all comes together. It's very well written, but I think when it comes to certain character build-ons, you can kind of guess.
I loved Timon and Pumbaa's humour in it, though. That was amazing.
I could swear that's Seth Rogen playing Pumbaa.
Maybe. So, have you watched Moana 2 yet, Becky?
I have watched Moana 2.
What was your thought on Moana 2?
I loved her little sister, and I loved, as usual, her friendship with Maui.
You're welcome.
Dad joke coming in. But yes, I was disappointed in the music very much. But overall, the film itself, good concept. Disney and Pixar and even DreamWorks, they never cease to amaze me with their incredible ideas and concepts.
Did it not warm your heart in Moana 2 at the end where the ancestors come round? Again, I'm not giving spoilers away.
Yes, it did. And as usual, being menopausal, I cried. I cry at anything and everything.
You do it all, Danielle.
Yes. I'm not menopausal.
Yes, so you've got no excuse. At least I've got an excuse.
So yeah, I think this has been overall a pretty awesome podcast.
Wow.
Have we got any Disney films, any other films that we could plan on going and seeing that we could talk about in the next one? That's if the listeners are a bit for stop talking about films.
I don't know. I think, to be fair, I think the most interesting Disney movie that's come out in decades has got to be Soul.
Soul
is
very
amazing.
good. Yeah,
I could not believe it. I didn't think Disney could still come up with that kind of calibre of story creating. Because I think a lot of the story creating now, especially since they took over so many properties like Marvel, and I don't think their storytelling is what it used to be. But set in mind, that really changed my modern opinion of Disney. That they really do still pump out.
I think Disney's overall great. I think it's taken on a lot. Not feeling the Doctor Who yet, but
no,
that's what I mean.
The industry as a whole. It's ever changing, and sometimes I feel the industry loses its way, and they try a little bit too hard to please everybody. We have to be a certain way in today's modern society.
It's inclusivity.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but then there's other people that just have to accept and, for want of a better term, lighten up about things. And I'm not afraid to say it. If everybody just accepts things, then life's so much better. And then the film world, the industry will open up even more. I'll get shot down in flames for being honest about this. But
of course you've got to fit an AC/DC song.
And we all had a day trip out to see AC/DC in July. And guys, ever reaches you, you were as awesome as ever.
Yes, that's it. Let's hope we're in the AC/DC. We loved you. So I think moving on is if we have listeners and those who are listening in, please give us your comments. Please let us know what you'd like to hear in the next podcast, any games, if we have anyone who wants to get involved and come and speak with us. We have plenty of things in the pipeline. We've had one of the members of our team who goes out and basically plays a real life superhero on an evening. He goes out and picks people up who have maybe had a few too fizzy drinks and they're stuck and they need to go home safe
and make sure
they're home safe.
They have a safe point where taxis, local taxis will come.
Him and his wonderful team of ladies and gentlemen. And we've also had the opportunity this last year to meet John Bell. The fantastic Dad Paul. Those listening, you'll probably know of him. He walked from Mansfield to Wrexham, carrying
Yes.
a bathtub in memory of his son.
Yes.
And
Very,
what
very
an
sad, but what an
astounding
incredible
thing.
man.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. You'll definitely meet John because
Yes.
we cajoled him into joining our podcast before we even got this far. So no, we will be.
And for
talking to
anyone
John at
who's
some
listening
stage.
in who feels that they need some support with mental health or any loss, the group is called Walking for Hope.
Yes, yeah, they are a superb charity. Pop on over to their Facebook page, show them some love and some support, and they will be there for you if you need them.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of love, before we end the podcast, I think we are overdue now to tell the story of why
We
me
promised.
and Danielle are getting married. So, the question remains, do you want to tell it, or should I?
Well, I was going to say, do I still want to get married?
Well, yeah, there is that part.
I think we've got around 4 minutes left, and I talk faster than you. So,
Oh, yeah, just pin it all on the future.
so we initially had an event called Cosnerds, again another type of event that we did at Gingersnaps, and it's like a Comic-Con style event convention. My dad worked with Kyle and told him about it, so Kyle came, and we knew of each other, but we wasn't really speaking at that much point.
To be fair, I didn't know he had a daughter at all
Yes.
at this point.
And then later down the line, we went into doing a Halloween event, and you being Michael Myers, you came in.
This was the very first time I worked for Gingersnaps, by the way. That Halloween night, Deb was special.
We made really, really good friendship from there. I was in a relationship prior to that ended sadly, but Kyle came in after and brought loads of support, and we've done Gingersnaps ever since.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And
She stabbed her way into my heart instead of the other way around.
And I will turn around to say that after 50 years of only getting collared to be a bridesmaid once, I got collared to be a bridesmaid. And do we know why? For my party planning skills and my event decor
There
skills.
is
Not
just-
for the love of just like, being like mum number 2 principal. Just for my event decor skills. So I can check
there
everything's
is
perfect.
genuinely.
I'd like to add that was Danielle's plan, not mine.
I have
Gets out.
my party planner who's going to organise it, which is yourself.
Yeah,
I have
you know.
my other friend who we like to call her a little Rottweiler.
She is indeed.
Because she's really tough. And
She
I've got
scares me.
my.
She makes me sit down and do as I'm told on events when I'm running around. You know who you are.
I have my stepmother-in-law, which is Cal's stepmom, who will just mother me, and I have my best friend Charlotte, who will slap me across the face if I feel nervous.
That's it.
I've got a great team.
If I feel so inclined.
So I think from here on out, please let us know your comments, how you've found the podcast, and I think we'll all say goodbye. Becky, do you want to say bye-bye?
Thank you for listening to us prattle on about goodness knows what. And yeah, hope you'll join in again soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you very much, and goodbye from the Gingersnap Parties podcast.
Bye-bye.
Bye.